Hello friends, it's Veronica here and we are here to do another episode together. I can't wait to get started today. I am going to draw a little meerkat for you and I hope that you like to follow along today. It is so much fun. Meerkats, have you ever seen them at the zoo? Oh my gosh, they are so much fun to watch. They're pointing and they're looking. There's always a guy out on top of the rock looking out for everybody else who's popping in and out of the holes. I cannot wait to get started today, so let's get going.
All right, let's get started with this little Meerkat today. We have a fresh canvas and a brown colored pencil. Let's get started. Circular shape up here for the head, and then we're going to draw like a hot dog shape up here for the nose, and another hot dog shape down here for the jaw. Then we're going to come in with the eyes with a couple of circular shapes. And then we're going to add just a little shape in there for the tip of his nose and his tongue. All right, now we're going to draw in the first arm. This is the arm that's behind and over his head with some rectangle shapes, and then a long rectangle shape here and an odd little shape there for his hand. Going around in an oval for his belly, and a rectangular shape here for the front leg, and another rectangular shape for the back. Circle and circle for the paws, and a long hot dog shape for the tail, and another little odd oval there for the tip of the tail. Put in the pupils and the mask around his eyes, and that's looking pretty good. I think we need to put in the belly right there. That's perfect. And let's get started then with retracing. Oops, a little ear, forgot that. So let's get started with some retracing. We're going to go around the small of his back here, and every so often you might see that I put in a jagged edge. That's just to indicate fur. And there we go for the tip of the tail. Let's go up around his head, giving him a little hair on the top of his head, and around that back arm. And then we're going to come up for his nose here, and we're going to go around and attach that to the bottom jaw. That's looking very good. Let's go up and get that tongue in there, and around the mask for the eyes, and then of course around the eyes and dot in those pupils. Let's get that front arm in, tracing and giving him some fingers, and a little jagged edge for the elbow, and around for the shoulder. Around the belly, some more jagged edges, and down for the front leg and into the paw. Let's indicate some toes there. And then we have the belly coming around the front. This is the back leg then, and around indicating again toes. That's looking good. And then we go here with some jagged lines for the belly. Getting in that nose, this is looking good. Now I want to go in and erase all the lines I don't want to see. It'll make it easier for me when I ink, just to get in there and clean some things up so I know exactly what to trace. And of course we want this arm to look like it's in front, so I'm going to erase those lines that attach it to the back. There we go, again in there, and erasing this line in here for the front leg because that will make it look like it's in front. And then just cleaning up this tail a little bit. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Okay, so now let's get in there with a fresh canvas and some ink, and let's trace over it with black. Going really steady here. I am not using steady stroke today. There's some jagged edges for the fur that I just want to make sure I get in there. And we're going around for the mask and around the nose. Just making sure that when I do this, I'm using even pressure and I'm trying to be real steady with my hands. And we can always clean up again with a little eraser. If you're doing this with pencil, just trace over it a little darker now, just to make sure everything looks just the way you like it. And then you can do another step after this and trace it all with ink when you get it all perfect with the dark pencil. Then we're just going down over the tail, indicating some fur at the end, and up. And that's looking good. Now on the arm, and a little indication of fur at the elbow, and around for his fingers. This is looking pretty good. Coming down around his belly, and just some zigzags there to indicate fur again. And then we're going to come down here for the back leg and the front. Just want to make sure that front leg looks like it's in front. And the paw. That's looking pretty good. All right, now I'm going to come in and just clean up the ink just a little bit. Just kind of, I turned off the sketch and now I'm cleaning up the ink with the eraser, taking away the parts where I overdrew and re-sketching in some places where it might not look as even as I'd like. Forgot that little nose right there. And we're going around the eye and the tongue. Yeah, cleaning out that a little bit, and then I want to redraw that tongue. That's looking good. Okay, now we're just going to come in here and just clean up that chest area a little bit. Look at those lines, maybe clean up the hand here, make those fingers look a little more defined. And then coming down and looking at his legs and his tail. That's looking good. Right around those toes, cleaning up that paw a little bit. Yeah, that's looking pretty nice. I like the way that looks. We'll get in there and just clean up that tail, make those little fur spots look really nice and sharp. That is looking perfect. I like the way that looks. So now let's start selecting a color for our Meerkat. You can choose whatever color you like. I'm choosing this brown color, and I want to make it a little lighter. That's looking okay. That looks good. Let's go in there and just click, click, and then let's choose a darker color for the mask and the paws. And oop, I forgot to do that arm, so let's get back in there with the regular color and do that arm, lighter color for the belly. And then let's choose a blackish color for the inside of the mouth and a pink color for the tongue. That's looking great. Now, remember last week when we turned on the lock on our sketchbook program here? If you're using digital art, you can do this with me too. I'm just using a little airbrushy dot tool. And I'm going in to indicate some shadows. With that lock tool on, it only allows you to color on the thing that's already colored. So it really gives you some freedom here to get in some shadows and some definition without overdrawing onto your canvas, which I really like that convenience. I'm going to make the edge of the tail down there a little lighter, and then I'm just going to go in with my regular ink pen and just clean up some of the lines where the shading tool had overdrawn over my black line. You could always do your lines on a separate layer as well, and then color in below it, and that would also work.
I really enjoyed today's episode, and I hope that you did too. I hope that you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.